So once again, the next fest is here, featuring over 2,000 demos for you guys to try out. Now this is way too many for any person to reasonably play on their own, so I thought I'd show you some of the games that I've played that I believe are worth your time. From chill vibes to fast-paced action roguelikes, this next fest has a wide variety of games on offer. There isn't much time left to explore the demos, but you still have until March 3rd to grab some of these if you want to try out. As a reminder, you should wishlist any of the games that you like the look of, as this always is a great help to the developers. Without further ado, let's get into the games.
Likes of you around it.
Oh, quiet your garrulous mouths. Shame you lot can only talk and not much else.
Starting off with Reignbreaker, an action roguelike being developed by Studio Fizbin. In this game you play as Clef as she sets out to rid the world of the Queen of Keys. Think Hades style gameplay where your main weapon is a javelin with various abilities. As you punch and stab your way through enemies, you will upgrade your abilities throughout your run, adding in a wide range of elements like extra combo chains, explosives at the end of a chain, dot damage on attacks, and many more. There's some nice meta progression as well as you finish your runs that will help you gradually advance, even if your runs are not successful. Featuring some remarkable voice acting and an outstanding soundtrack, Reignbreaker is looking to be a great time, and you won't have to wait long as well, as this game is expected to release March 18th, 2025.
I have outlived you by centuries, child. You will never beat me.
Sticking with the roguelike genre, we have probably the best game I played this week, Shape of Dreams. Granted, I am quite biased to roguelikes, as this genre contains some of my favourite games, one in particular being Risk of Rain 2. Shape of Dreams feels very in line with the itemization and game flow of Risk of Rain, but with a more MOBA style combat. As you go through a run, you can pick up extra abilities and modify them with a variety of essences you will pick up as you progress. With 5 characters you can unlock in the demo, and enough abilities that I rarely had any of the same ones in my various builds, this game is shaping up to have a lot of replayability. The combat itself feels nice and fluid, with a lot of scope for mastery and fun builds to discover. I enjoyed this game so much that I had to force myself to uninstall it, as I had spent so much time on it already that I was afraid I wouldn't have time to play anything else. Shape of Dreams is aiming for a May 2025 release, so wishlist and keep an eye out for this one. Changing gears now to a much more relaxed game, we have Wheel World. This chill cycling game is a really nice way to unwind after a day of work, as you roam around a beautiful landscape accompanied by a soothing soundtrack. You play as Cat, a rider chosen by an ancient cycling spirit to retrieve their legendary parts and perform a long overdue ritual. You will explore the lands, compete in races, and upgrade your bike with various parts you find along the way. You can customize your bike to exactly how you like it, as each part affects the handling in different ways. From the power affecting the acceleration and uphill speed, to handling for going around corners, and grip for less skidding. A nice low-stakes game that is perfect for those moments where you want to de-stress after a hard day and just explore around an appealing world for a bit. Another sports-based game I tried was Descenders Next, where you speed down hills on either a snowboard or a mountain board, performing tricks and avoiding obstacles. There are ramps to jump off, flags to slalom through, and pipes to grind on as you speed down the courses. Reminds me of the old SSX series of games on GameCube I played when I was a kid. There are central hubs where you can perform tricks alongside other players, or take to the slopes and explore out into the mountains to find other hubs. You only have a limited amount of lives as you do this, so you need to be careful as you go, or try to perform the desired trick on each course to get some health back. Not long till this one comes out, 9th of April, when you can fly down the mountains yourself. If you like going fast, then you might want to take a look at HASTE Broken Worlds, a hectic procedural runner where you try and outrun the end of the universe. If you ever played Tiny Wings on mobile or Exo 1 recently, it's a similar gameplay style here. You'll run at speeds and launch off inclines, then if you manage to land on the descending part of the hill, you'll gain speed as you fly through the levels. Master your movement as you progress through the shards, dodging various obstacles in your way, buying upgrades at the shops, and fighting the bosses to progress. No release date for this one yet, but it's worth keeping an eye on if you're interested. Time for a tempo shift with this next game, Nice Day for Fishing, where you play as an NPC fisherman in an RPG world where all the players have disconnected. It'll be up to you and your fishing skills to save Honeywood from disaster. Some good humour in this one as you tackle the usual quests in RPG games, but from the viewpoint of an NPC from this world, that showcases the weird and often illogical aspect of these games, where the same quest will be done by many players. For example, the blacksmith somehow keeps losing his grandfather's hammer down the well, or how the NPCs won't help you until you do a favour for them. To achieve all this, you will use your trusty fishing rod to do everything from gathering items, getting fish to sell, and fighting bosses. Just a general 2025 release for this one so far, but if the writing keeps up, this could be a nice enjoyable game to play through. Moving on to the next game, The King is Watching. Now this is a roguelike kingdom builder where you will take on the role of a king as you build up your army, develop your city, and choose what direction to take your kingdom in. Only the buildings under your watch will be worked on, so you must micromanage your view area depending on what resource you need at the time. You can upgrade the area you focus on to be able to have more buildings running at once, so it's a good purchase to rush early on. As the time goes on, you'll be invaded by different enemies looking to destroy your city, and you must send your forces out to defend your walls. These invasions can be seen on the timeline at the top of the screen, and you can customize the difficulty of these groups at certain points, where you'll decide what rewards you want to get, with the better items coming from more difficult enemies. It quickly becomes very addictive as you constantly have to juggle your tasks as you take on these runs. There is some meta progression going on here as well, though not much was shown off in the demo. Definitely one I'll be looking forward to, and dreading all the lost productivity this will be resulting in. Next up is Solarpunk, which does take a while to get going, as with most survival games, but once you get a base and some resources collected, the game demo really comes together. Especially when you finally get an airship to explore around, the game really started to shine for me. This game can be played together with friends or just solo, but seems like a great time either way. You will be exploring different islands, gathering resources and bringing them back to your base to develop your home. There are machines you can hook up to a power grid that will automate some of the tasks for you, and this was only the beginning shown off so far, so we can expect various more items as the game progresses. Certainly a game to keep on your radar if you often get the itch to play a survival game with some friends. For the penultimate game, we have Whisper of the House, a cozy game about decorating various living spaces. Think unpacking in terms of gameplay, as you take the items out of the box as you decide where in the house to place them. A nice touch is being pretty lax in where you can place the objects, not having a defined room they have to go in, so if you find something you prefer to go in the bathroom for instance, you can just pick it up and go through the door. You'll be taking on these requests for the various townspeople of the location you've just moved to, as you explore the town and uncover their stories. A nice relaxing game for some downtime when you have it, that should be coming out later this year.
My name is Alta, and I am a fighter.
The final game on this list is Wanderstop, from the creator of the Stanley Parable and the Beginner's Guide. With that in mind, you can expect some deeper twists to come later in the story, and for it to not just be a cozy team management game as it appears on the surface. You play as Alta, a fallen fighter that has ended up exhausted in this forest. Here she meets Borrow, a lovely patient chap who helps Alta unwind and asks her to help run the tea shop while she regains her strength. You'll be growing plants, gathering them and making tea for the customers that come to the shop. You can also tidy up around the place and decorate the shop to your style, all whilst relaxing in a soothing environment. Though Alta can't sit still for long, and her inner battle to be the best will keep dragging her out to the forest to try and get out of here. This one is coming very soon as well, March 11th to be exact, and one I'm very much looking forward to.
Good. I'm happy. I can stop running now. I can stop. I can stop. I can stop running. This is good for me. I need to enjoy this. I feel good. I'm happy. I'm happy. I'm happy.
So there were the games I recommend checking out, or the ones I played this week. Let me know down in the comments below that any that you played that weren't on this list that you think are worth checking out. As always, make sure to wishlist any game that you take a shine to, as this always helps out the developers. Subscribe if you want to see more reviews and impressions like this, and if you want to take a look at any of these games, the next fest runs till March 3rd 6 PM GMT or 10 AM Pacific, so get in whilst you can.